Everyone. Today we will be learning about the concept of inheritance support. Inheritance support is nothing but already whatever you have learned. It's nothing but the code reuse concept is nothing but inheritance support. Okay, there are two ways in which the inheritance can be represented. One is your classical inheritance, another one is containment and delegation. Classical is nothing but it is said to be is a relationship, whereas containment is nothing but has a relationship. For example, a radio is being contained in the car, so that it is said to be having a relationship with the car. Okay, car has a radio, like that aspect is there. That is said to be your containment and delegation, which you will be learning in the future sessions. So here you can check out with an example is being given in the inheritance. You can check out an employee is there, for which it has a manager and a salesman. Okay, employee is a manager, employee is a salesman, like that concept is said to be your inheritance. So example here also it is being contained. You can see here in the example you have the class employee. In that, name and id are said to be the variables of the employee. Okay, so those variables are being fetched in the salesman also. That base class is being fetched with the details of the salesman, that is the name and the ID. And even the salesman, it is said to be having the number of sales which are being done by the salesman, that it is present in the salesman. So in the main method you are said to be creating an object for that employee E, new employee object is being created, and even salesman also an object is being created S. Okay, like this is an example of the inheritance. Now you will be learning in this session about another concept which is there in the uh, inheritance, that is your base class creation. Okay, you can say a controlling a base class creation. So that is nothing but, okay, when you are said to be initializing whatever you are said to be doing, you are said to be fetching the information from the base class. So each and every time when I am fetching, I want to fetch the same details from the base class. It may be any of the things that it can be fetched through just a keyword called as base. Okay, so here the same example which we took last time, it's nothing but name and the id. Okay, in the employee you have two variables, that is the n and eid, nothing but the name and the employee id. Even salesman also, it is said to be having the salesman's name and id is being fetched here. The code is same thing is being repeated, but the another one which is there, that is the number of sales. Okay, so same thing, if you want to do it in a different way, so how do you do it? As you are using the base keyword and doing it. So here you have the employee id, the name and the id is there, and from the base class you are fetching the name and the id. So how you do it is, salesman, it is said to be having what, the n. Okay, it's nothing but the number of sales which is being done, sorry, name of the salesman. Then you have the id, and b is nothing but the bonus. So when you are fetching, what you are doing, you are fetching whatever details are in the base class, the same details are being fetched. You once again, you need not repeat the code. In the previous slide you saw here the repetition of the code is being done in the salesman. Instead of that, what you are doing, you are just using the base keyword and you are fetching the details from this base method into this particular section. Okay, so here when you are set to be in the main method, what you are set to be doing is, you are just creating an object of e1 and you are passing the name and the employee id for the first sector, that is this one. Okay, in the next one you have the salesman which is having the name, the id, and even the bonus which is being fetched. So it will be printing that particular three parts in this main method. Okay, this is the part of the base called as controlling the base class. Okay, and remember the inheritance, as I said, it doesn't have the multiple base classes creation. It is not possible in C#. Okay, it can have multiple interfaces, but it cannot have the multiple base classes. Multi-level you can have it, not multiple. Okay, another one concept is there called as keeping the family secrets is nothing but you are using, if I want to make my data to be protected, it cannot be accessed by any of the other classes or other methods, I'll be using the keyword called as protected. Okay, so whichever section, whichever part I want to make it hided, I will be using the keyword called as protected, so it can't be fetched by any other class or the method. If it is being tried to access that particular thing, then it will be leading to what? A compilation error it will be resulted. So here an employee is being, like, new object is being created and it is starting to access the SSN number. SSN number is said to be protected, so you cannot access that particular SSN number. Like that, a message it will be printed. Okay, next concept in the inheritance is the sealed class. Another class is called as non-inheritable class, called as sealed class. If I make a class to be sealed, then it cannot be accessed by any of the other class. The members of it cannot be accessed by any other classes. Okay, so here you have the employee, in that you have a salesman, you have the part-time salesman. Okay, so when I write in the program, when I am using the sealed class, okay, part-time salesman, it can, if you want to access that particular sealed class somewhere else, example here, somewhere else, it will lead to a compile time error. So remember, in the sealed classes, you cannot access the data which is said to be considered as sealed. You can access any other data, but not the sealed class data can be accessed. Okay, and last part in the inheritance is the containment and delegation. Containment and delegation, it has the concept of has a relationship. Has a means what? As I said, okay, a car has a radio. Radio has a feature, it can be put on and off. That feature is there, but the main concept is that it will be using the concept of has a relationship. So example it is being given here. So you have a class called radio which can be turned on and off. On means radio is on, otherwise it is said to be off. Whereas in the main program, when you consider car class is there, it can have two concepts: the current speed and maximum speed, the name of the car. If the car is said to be not in a state to move further, then it is said to be a car is in dead state, it is false when you are using. First method, the class maximum speed is 100, and second method class, it is said to be having name, the maximum speed and the current speed is there. And when a speed is up, when it is said to be more higher speed, if it is going more than that particular limit, then it will be saying car is dead, out of order. Otherwise it will be giving a message, the speed is proper, it is minute, whatever it is being given, then it will be considering that speed plus a, whatever value is there, it will be taking and it will be storing in a. Okay, current speed, that particular a speed, and the current speed which is being given there, 100, whatever it is, that it will be fetched. Okay, and the delegation concept, containment, the car contains a radio, so it is said to be containment. And delegation is nothing but, okay, I want to add something into that particular section, that is said to be the delegation, and adding another feature, that is called as the delegation. For example, okay, you have a car, in the car you have a radio, in that radio you have a tune. Okay, tune can be either set on or off, so that tune is said to be turned on and off, that is said to be your delegation. Okay, and afterwards you are said to be creating the object of the class, and the tune also is set to false. If it is on, then tune on it is being, then I'll be putting a tune into that particular radio. That feature is being present, called as the delegation. Car contains the radio, and for that radio I am doing some additional features, that is said to be your delegation. That tune is nothing but, the tune is said to be on and off, tuned on and off, that feature is said to be your delegation part. So today's session you have learned about what is containment and delegation in inheritance. Then you have learned about the what sealed class in inheritance. Then you have learned about the protected keyword in inheritance, you cannot create multiple classes. And you have learned about the concept of controlling the base class creation, I can call that particular base class, that you have learned. And the last part in the inheritance is, you are said to be using a type called as nested type or multi-level inheritance. It's nothing but, within a class you have multiple class can be created at a time within the class. I call it another class, I call it like that, it can happen. So that is called as nested types in inheritance. Okay, you have class 1, class 2, class 3. Nested type can be used in inheritance. Okay, this is the part of your inheritance concept which you have learned today. Okay, thank you.